This is Radio TakeOver, Brevard's hit talk radio program with Karen Wooden and Chuck Fresh. Wednesdays at 1, live on 1510 WMEL, 94.7 FM Cocoa, 99.9 FM Cocoa, 100.7 in Melbourne. Streaming online on SoundCloud, YouTube, iHeartRadio, and iTunes. Now, hold on to your seats. It's time for this week's edition of Radio TakeOver.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this week's edition of Radio TakeOver. My name is Fensterer McGillicuddy, and I'm along here with Karen Wooden. Hi, Karen. How are you?
Hey, what's up? How are you?
This is my favorite show in the whole world. I'm doing great, as a matter of fact, but you just came back from a long trip somewhere. Where were you?
Tennessee.
Tennessee. What are you doing out there?
We were squatching.
You're squat? What's that? What was that
I'm
mean?
just kidding. We watched too many Monster Men reality TV shows.
Yeah, I wonder if today's guest would have anything to do with that. How's that? Okay.
We're sharing.
I got you. We're cool here. All right, so let's move along. We're going to send a shout out to today's wine, Karen. What is today's wine?
LBD.
What is that little black dress?
Little black dress.
It is a Pinot Noir.
Yes, it is. I was introduced to it by Salo and Joanna at one of our at a meeting.
One of my favorite flavors in the world, Pinot Noir from California, 2014. What kind of grape is this from, Karen?
You would have to turn it over and read it on the back because I didn't do my homework.
For those who believe that confidence turns heads, sophistication is the rule, and a good bottle of wine is the best accessory. So, little black dress, ladies and gentlemen. That's our wine of the day, and I'm on my 4th or 5th glass already. So
you're sounding pretty good.
I am. Well, you know, I have a high tolerance. You build this up after a while. So, we have an incredible guest. As a matter of fact, it's a twofer today, Karen.
2 for 1s. 2
for 1. Oh, I can hear things in my headphones now. Thank you. Our producer, Gary.
Technology.
Thank you. Thank you. Wait, do we have any crazy stories we're going to go into? Or we're going to get right into it? These guys didn't sleep all night.
I know, so we should.
Crazy thing. Maybe we'll just get them in the first hour.
I think
first half hour. The first hour.
The first hour. You guys are special when you get the first hour.
Oh, wow. We're going to be here a while.
Only special people get the hour.
So would you like to introduce them?
We're a twofer, so
twofer.
We each get half.
Yeah, you get a half hour each, right? She's got a point there.
She has a lot to say.
Yeah, I think our guest may be underwater. Some kind of really weird sound things going on here, so bear with us.
Hey, why don't you do the introduction in one of your neat voices?
All right. Special guests, do you have any voice preference that you would, before we introduce you, you're still a complete mystery to the world. Which voice would you be interested in?
Gandalf? I like Gandalf. What about Gandalf?
Gandalf requires a little processing, but I'll do the best I can.
Want some drinks first?
Oh, hold on a second. A student of the Dick Smith's Advanced Professional Makeup. I can't do it out of the studio. We got to do that in the studio. I'll do the best I can. A student. How does that just blew everybody out here? A wizard is never late. All right. A student of the, let me just do regular, let's get this out of the way. A student of the Dick Smith's Advanced
Welcome
Professional.
To Radio TakeOver,
live
guys.
radio, ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry, Chuck.
It sounded like you hit puberty for a second.
If I say Dick Smith one more time, I'm going to get fined by the FCC. A student of Mr. Smith's Advanced Professional Makeup course, Scott Fensterer, ladies and gentlemen. He's a freelance makeup artist and material specialist. Scott is known for his work on The Wind-Up Boy in 2011, Face Off in 2011, and Maiden to Monster in 2012, among other famous motion pictures you've probably seen. His childhood, we need to cue the music here, the background. His childhood was filled with making home movies on an old 8mm film camera with other neighborhood kids. Scott's passion for special effects makeup has morphed into a lifelong career in art.
You guys can't hear that, can you?
What the hell was that? He has continued to evolve as an artist, sculpting maquettes, I'm not sure what it is, toy and hobby prototypes. Remind me to ask what a maquette is. Don't tell us yet.
It's not a baguette.
It's not a baguette.
No.
Life-size museum figures and private commissions for collectors the world over. Scott owned and operated his own action figure collectible studio, Protohype Studio, which is an incredibly cool name. Protohype, baby. Located in Winter Garden, here in Florida, spending some time in that uncanny valley, creating hyper-realistic sculpture and a dedication to capturing likenesses. We'll talk about that, too. Scott has turned his attention back to his first love, special effects makeup.
Second love. First love is Amber.
Oh. Wait, group up.
Chronologically, just number one.
Right
Yes.
on. By a large margin. Also joining us, if you just heard, is Amber Santos. Now, is it Amber Santos or Amber Fensterer now?
A Fensterer.
Oh. So, Mrs. Fensterer, otherwise known as the brand new Mrs. Fensterer, I just said that. Florida. She's a Florida native. Amber
I'm not.
You're not? All right.
No, I'm from New Jersey.
Oh, what exit?
Even better.
New Jersey, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know anything about that state.
Okay.
Amber also does special effects, fandom, whatever that is, and she's a makeup coordinator at the Shallow Grave. Spooky, Karen. Amber's background includes the healthcare industry. She's more of an onion than you are. She's been in the healthcare industry. She's a nurse. She was an EMT for the fire department and has worked for the sheriff's office. And she's packing. She has many life skills that she has learned over the years that make her a vital partner to Mr. Scott. And with a background in baking and specialty cakes, Scott's already put on 20 pounds. They've created De-Edible Delights, a very unique business, which we'll learn more about during our interview. Not only are, this is so cute, Amber and Scott business partners, they've also recently tied the knot. Congratulations! You guys!
Thank you.
A toast.
Oh,
A
toast,
toast.
yeah. I'll clink to that.
They're drinking coffee today.
Oh, yeah, it was a long night.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, Radio Takeover is proud to present the one and only Mr. and Mrs. Scott and Amber Fensterer. Welcome to Radio Takeover. Thanks so much for taking time out of your crazy schedule and spending some time with us today. What did you do last night? Tell us what happened. What are you building?
Oh my gosh, deadlines. We have 3 projects now concurrently. So we're working on getting. Was that
an earthquake?
Just in case we've got leftover from the wedding. So
you're gonna need that.
Yes,
Bottle of Fireball for all of our listeners who did not see that.
Yes.
That's serious
One
stuff.
of my favorites. Not necessarily one of her favorites, but I do like the stuff. But yeah, we were working on some deadline projects, so it kept us up until about 2-ish. And then up at 5 o'clock or 5:30 to get the kids ready for school. So it was another late night, but that's typical for us.
Wow. And you're up to speak with us. Are we in the same time zone? You guys are
near
Ocala?
I think that's another country.
Is that like in Virginia or something? Oh, wait, that's Florida, isn't it? Wow. This is kind of like neighbors.
Still considered North Central Florida, so we're still Central Floridians.
You guys have mountains up there, don't you? And cold waves and snow?
Woods and palmetto bugs.
I don't like them.
Yeah, lots of squirrels.
All right, so we got a lot to cover, and I want to get you guys a chance to get some sleep, well-deserved sleep. So let's go back a bit. We need that music in.
We need the music, Gary.
So you're a kid again. You're running around the neighborhood with your buddies in a Super 8 camera, or whatever it was back then, back in the Stone Ages. My dad wouldn't let me touch his Super 8, so you're lucky. But I can only imagine the craziness I would have done. So tell us about some of your first movies, Scott.
Oh my gosh, we had so much fun with this stuff. It was a Super 8 millimeter. So if you've seen the Super 8 movie, the J.J. Abrams, that was pretty much my life as a kid. You know, you buy the little reels of film and go out and shoot. But my friends and I did all sorts of things, from fake Star Wars movies to Indiana Jones, monster movies. I even was able, because we had a little feature on our 8 millimeter where we could do stop motion.
Ooh.
So I would take like all the Star Wars action figures and have them walking around AT-ATs in the backyard and stuff. So it was, you know, it sparked my imagination early on. And I had parents that indulged me and allowed me to take reels of film every week to the photo booth to have them develop.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You had to take them. You couldn't see what you had until you had to have it developed.
Sorry about what we just
Don't even mention that.
In the studio.
It was frightening. It was even more frightening in some of your creations. But do you still have any of those movies laying around?
I do. I don't know how well survived they are. Those things break down so easy. And, you know, I kept saying, I'm gonna have them transferred. I'm gonna have them transferred. The last time I picked them up, all the edits fell apart. The tape was just ruined. So we'll have to see if we can salvage it. But yeah, it would be funny to do that with the kids and show them what Dad did back in the day.
Well, I'll tell you what, now that you're like a huge star, you might want to. Those probably worth a little bit of money. Put them on YouTube Red and retire, bro. That's some serious stuff.
Yeah, or put that towards a book.
Oh.
See?
Or a documentary.
That's what I meant. You took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah. That's why he gets paid the big dollars.
I think Robert Scott should film that documentary.
They know Robert.
I think he should. He would be terrific.
Yeah, friends of ours.
Yeah. Cool. And Ryan can do the music.
That's right. I'll do the voiceover.
And I'll supervise. I'll just, I don't know.
You're eye candy.
I'll coordinate. That's what we do.
Yes. Or you can be the nurse. No, you don't do that anymore.
Well, she might, but we won't talk about that. I think that's private.
Go ahead, Karen. Okay. You've got tons of questions. She's got a list of questions. Can I squeeze in a few? I'm like, go ahead.
Thanks. Man, you know, you're like the best.
I know. Bomb
ever.
diggity.
I love this guy.
Go ahead.
Hey, so Scott, you're like that has had a reboot. Okay, so you mentioned in a Facebook post, you wrote, dreams without faith are figments. Faith without action will show no reward. Don't be distracted by life and those who would tell you that you can't. They just don't know what they're talking about.
Preach.
Preach it. Don't let them be the loudest voices in your head, which is really great advice.
Great.
Falling in lines with that, you both quit your day jobs. We talked about that. Whose idea was that and why? Because that's scary. That's scary. That's the creatures.
I quit my day job like 2 years
ago. Yeah. She had the ability to quit earlier than I did. She was doing well in selling the different fandom crafts that she did, and was actually earning more money making those than she could in her day job. Plus, with the kids and everything, it was difficult to coordinate the schedules and the shows and stuff. So she had already kind of charted that territory. But then by the time we met, she had convinced me to take a chance because I had a lot of jobs on the side. And the job situation at the time wasn't the best. I was also commuting quite a ways, which I didn't mind commuting, but then to go there and get kind of the situation as it was developing, it was better for me to make the move. So she just gave me the final encouragement and put her money where her mouth was and said, I'll support you no matter what happens, and the rest is history.
I don't think saying you better get in your car and come home right now is encouragement.
Yeah.
What a great team.
I'm trying to be politically correct.
Yeah, right. Nice work. He's good at that.
He is. Tell us.
Light, I'm not.
Yes.
Amber, I like you though. You're a straight shooter too. Tell us, can you give us, since Chuck doesn't know, talk about the fandom. What is that exactly?
Well, I'm a big fat nerd. Hence the Disney princess.
She's a hot nerd, right, Chuck? Come on.
Right.
Nerd, and it's always been really hard for girls to be nerdy and into like Star Wars and stuff like that. So I started. My mom had done it for me when I was little, and then I started having children, and they were big fat nerds. So I wanted it to be, don't you drink that out of the bottle. I needed to make it okay for me to be a nerd and for my daughter to be a nerd. And we went to a couple of cons, just for shits and giggles. Ooh, my bad.
Beep.
Yeah.
It's a good thing we're underwater.
I was like, really? That's all this is? I can do this. So I started making all the stuff that I made for myself, like my girly hair bows and my jewelry and my shirts and backpacks and all the different things that I made for myself that were nerdy but so cool. I could do that in large scale and then take them to the cons and make them. And then I started doing it on the side, and I was making more money there than I was at my day job, and I hated my day job.
Yeah.
I was there from like the butt crack of dawn till dark, and to get up and leave before my kids went to school, didn't get home until dinner time, and I didn't have time to make dinner. It was just miserable. I was like, forget this nonsense. I'm going to work for me. And then, so I was doing shows, and then that's how we met, and
it's so awesome you guys are actually able to earn a living doing what you love to do. And it's so rare for people to do that now,
It is.
So you're very, very lucky. You're blessed. And both of you do it together, and looks like you have such a great relationship together doing what you all love doing.
I think we call them the dynamic duo.
an adventure, that's for sure. You know, and going back to the post that Karen was talking about, you know, that was really centered on, you know, not listening to the voices that tell you you can't. You know, I was from you know, the whole reason for my reboot was because people were telling me for a very long time. In fact, people that were the closest to me were saying, this isn't something you could do. You know, particularly about face-off. I'll quote, "It's not something you can do. You can't compete on that level."
Wow.
And I listened to it for far too long. When I finally had the opportunity to go on it after my life kind of changed and rebooted, by my choice or not, I was able to go on the show. And not only did I do well, but I was on all 14 episodes in season 9. So don't listen to those loud voices. If there's one thing that I can put in your heads, you know, people are going to try to, you know, chop you down, cut you down, keep you where you are. You have to be stronger than that and take some chances and overcome it. But it's out there. You just have to reach for it.
You got to chase it. Go get it. So you got a big time on-screen credit I was seeing for a Medea Halloween. So congrats on that, man. That's hot. That's actually one of my personal lifetime goals, to be on-screen credit. I've never had one of those. So what did you do, or what did you say to, what did you do to Medea?
Well, I worked on the makeup department. It was in the special makeup department, creating 50 zombies. I actually did that with Jonah Levy of Blue Whale. Wow. He was a big guy here in Orlando. They still have an Orlando office. But he invited me to work with him up in Georgia, where it was being filmed. So actually, Amber and I got to go up there at the same time and work on makeup. So we did 50 zombies total for Medea's. It was 40 background and 10 heroes. Ooh. So I was just on the makeup team, and we cranked them out in over 23 hours. Jeez. It was a 23-hour makeup shoot. Wow. We did those 50, and they looked awesome.
He says we. He means him and Jonah and the team. I dropped him off and then went and drank.
You were a vital part of that. Just go on it.
And I've had your work done on me, Amber. You're
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Right.
That's another show.
About that.
That's another show.
Ah. Interesting.
She's very, very talented too.
Yeah, I can imagine. You don't have anything you could show us there. We are recording for anything just like in your living room or on a shelf or something we pulled during the break?
Oh, I wish. There's not really much I can show because we're haunted by NDAs.
I can imagine.
You know, when we were doing fandom and you know, personal commissions and stuff, we were a little bit more at liberty to show things. But it's like now, every time you turn around, oh, you have to sign this NDA and basically put your fingerprint and blood on this thing. And I understand why. I mean, this stuff is projected.
Some recent stuff that we've done, like Daddy's Face is there and Prairie Dawn and Grover.
Oh, we've got Prairie Dawn and Grover. We can bring them. They were actually guests at our wedding.
What?
Prairie O'Donnell what?
Prairie Dawn and Grover. They were.
I thought it was a dentist thing or something.
No, not an attorney's firm. I got some show and tell we can do.
There's something with really bad. Oh my God! Yeah.
This is my makeup that we did on Ted, the real walking Ted. We actually were able to salvage it, but
in the morning.
This is based on a personal hero of mine, Bernie Wrightson's Frankenstein. He recently passed away, but we did this makeup on the real walking Ted a couple of times now, and it went over very well. Especially since he's like 18 feet tall. He's like a giraffe. Right. Very, very tall guy. So it works with this makeup. Plus he's so lean. So this is Frankenstein.
Wow.
And not necessarily as pretty as Amber, so I'll take him away.
Aww.
Yeah.
This was I did this little one for Amber. I know that on radio it's not transferring.
We'll have this up for everybody to see
these
later.
Are a couple of Muppets here. I see Grover. Who's the one in pink here with the blonde?
This is yeah.
Who is she?
She was big in the 80s. She was voiced by, I don't know if they're still on. Are they still on or no? But Prairie Dawn was really big in the late 70s, early 80s, and it was one that Amber absolutely loved. So for our wedding, I made her a Prairie Dawn, and she insisted that I finish Grover. So I did Grover, and they were at our wedding, kind of had our little bench set up with the book, monster at the end of the book, because we're both, like I said, we're both nerds. We love keeping that Peter Pan aspect of things. You got to be a kid to do this stuff and to create and imagine and pretend. I mean, Walt Disney and Jim Henson, they never grew up. You know, they just remained the child that they were.
Hey, Scott, actually, Elmo's here. Hang on a sec.
I don't think
Can you hear him? I think our headphones went away.
You can't hear.
Oh, sorry. There you go. There you go.
You're
Hear it
on
now.
the playback later.
Yeah, we'll hear it on the playback.
Yeah. I may not, because I'm permanently deaf in
Oh, sorry. I didn't
Oh.
mean to kind of turn Karen up a little too.
Yeah.
It's the hazards of the job.
She's got tinnitus now. I do apologize for that.
Yeah. But those are some of the projects we can show you. The other ones will have to wait quite some time because, you know, like I said, they project out so far. The ones that we're working on now probably won't be ready for seeing until maybe like fall or even beyond.
We can't wait that long, Scott.
Yeah.
It's a little
You'll have to
long.
show us at least.
Yeah.
So
we're doing the break.
We have like about two minutes to go before we're going to take a quick break. So I want to ask you really quickly, since we're having to use the word Mr. Smith and omit Dick.
He just said it. There you go.
You're going to have to read this if you're going to make me crack up. So he was famous throughout the film world, as we talked, the ultimate master of special makeup effects, and that he won a couple Oscars for his work. You've taken his course. Do you think this course helped shape your work, or were you kind of on your own direction by then?
Well, I think as an artist, you kind of know what you want to do in the end. You want to gravitate towards a certain thing. And mine were always transformative makeups.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, with Dick Smith's class, it didn't matter where you fell. It was always going to be the makeup, the art of makeup. And he respected that art so much. And, you know, for years, he gave away the knowledge that he had. He would share with everyone, and he had magazines and books, and he made it very available. And even now, you know, you can sign up for his class, and online they have like a beginner's and an advanced. So even, you know, special effects wannabes can go on that class and you know, learn all the tricks that he's had in his belt all these years.
Wow,
Awesome.
he's a true legend. Yeah, that's insane. A heck of an education. Yeah, we got to run to a break. So will you guys hang out for the next half hour for us? We'd be honored.
We have to run to the liquor store and get some brownies.
This is Radio Takeover. Our guests are Scott and Amber Fensterer.
The coolest in the special effects world.
So stick around. This is Radio Takeover every Wednesday from 1 to 2 p.m. with Chuck Fresh and Karen Wood, or Karen Wood and Chuck Fresh and Chuck Fresh. We'll be back right after these words.
Whenever I am on the Space Coast, I always make time in my schedule to listen to Radio Takeover with Karen Woden and Chuck Fresh. Stand by. They'll be back for another half hour after these messages. Celebrate with Salo, Joanna, and Malak, along with Radio Takeover's Chuck Fresh and Karen Wooden at the 2017 State Small Business Expo, coming to Brevard May 6th and 7th at the Melbourne Square Mall. This is the biggest business event of the year. Tickets for tables are as low as $79 for both days. Very few available. Check it out now at www.state.today. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with Karen Wooden and Chuck Fresh with Radio Takeover, WMEL's hit radio talk show program. Heard every Wednesday on fine radio stations like this.
Welcome back to Radio Takeover. My name is Chuck Wooden. I'm here with Karen Fresh. Man, that's good wine. What's in that
really
stuff?
Good wine.
Let's just flip that. Our guests today are Scott and Amster. Amber Fensterer. I'm like putting Fensterer together with Amber. It comes out to Hamsterer. Strangest thing.
We're trying to do that thing like Hollywood. We had Brangelina. We're just creating.
Yeah, we have an awful name for that. We're always Amscott. You know, it's just like. And don't call us for money. We're not
for money.
Scott, that's too funny, man.
We'll have their Facebook and email addresses up later.
You better register that domain.
I'm writing that down right now.
All right, we got a lot to cover. These guys are insanely interesting. I'm going to try to...
Yes.
All right, I'm back now. So you guys just don't do zombies and special effects makeup. So what else do you guys do? What were some of your first creation? I read something about Star Trek drops. What is that? Tell us about those.
Props.
Yeah, we got started. Well, I when I was a kid, I was making Star Trek props, like replica props, out of the technical manual because I am an uber nerd. So people would pay me to make these replica props of the phasers and communicators and stuff like that.
Wow.
So yeah, that was like the first professional thing, and then I was able to do some sculptures, and then all of a sudden comic shops wanted to hold my stuff in their cases and see if it would sell, and those were selling well. So it kind of just grew from there. Just the artwork caused me to go in other directions, and people would hire me to do other projects, and eventually it stuck. It's like, hey, maybe I can make some money with this.
How old were you when you started doing the Star Trek stuff?
Oh boy, 13.
Because that's some intricate stuff. Are we talking plastic or wood, or what were you using at 13? You don't have access to a whole bunch of stuff, do you? Or
you know, we had stuff. The problem is it wasn't the best for you back then.
Yeah.
You know, now that I'm older and I realize what I was using, it's like, wow, like isocyanate pure resins that have actual cyanide gas, you know, for curing. And, you know, tin cure silicones that have bad stuff that, you know, you get too much on you. I only have slight memory loss, though, which is kind of cool. and it's
this mercury?
Yeah. Intermittent tremors, you know, it was worth it for the art. And, you know, I can't remember what else is affected. But
you know what? I'm seeing a museum, actually.
That's what I'm
the
talking
Amscott Museum.
The Amscott.
Yeah.
You're going to regret telling us that.
We got your 8mm films in there, and then we get some of these props.
I would have gone with hamster.
Yeah.
Karen, go ahead. What's your next question?
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
Hold on, we didn't hear you. Say that again. It's kind of a garble.
I said, well, he was a teenager making Star Trek props. I was a toddler making bathing suits out of newspaper and wedding gowns out of
It was a match made. It was destiny.
I started costuming at probably 3. So.
Wow.
Man, if you guys had met earlier, imagine what the museum would look like now, the Amscott Museum.
I was
There'd be a mugshot of
yeah.
Because
a mugshot
apart.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't meet much earlier. Yeah, because that would be bad.
I was playing with dirt.
Yeah, me too.
God,
what
happened, Mom? No.
Mercury. Yeah.
So you guys tied the knot. So again, congratulations.
Thank you.
So some people tend to climb to the top of the Eiffel Tower and drop to one knee. Some people hire skyriders, barbershop quartets, rent space on stadium scoreboards. But we understand. Well, I was there, but it was really cool. You had quite an adventure during your own marriage proposal. Tell us about that, because it was magnificent.
Oh, it was a big planning thing. That was a logistical nightmare because I knew the people that I wanted to involve. We were good friends with Cecil Garner and, of course, Robert Scott and Ryan.
Me, of course, right? No.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Karen Wood.
That's where we met. That was kind of our friend anniversary. That kind of worked.
Yeah.
But yeah, we decided to go a different route than the normal proposals. And since I was in special effects makeup, and we kind of met in a roundabout way through Face Off, because she watched me when I was on Face Off. I wouldn't have been at the show, at the convention that we met at, if it weren't for Face Off. I said, maybe we'll bring some of that into the proposal. So we wound up going out to Cecil Garner's place. Rick, he's Rick Grimes' cosplay artist, if you don't know who he is. So we went out there and we were going to film, you know, just like a little shoot, like a little, maybe an intro or something. Well, by the time Robert Scott got a hold of it, he's like, maybe we need to do this as a part of the Road to Sanctuary. So that one little let's do a little quickie movie turned into shooting a segment for The Road to Sanctuary, their fan film. So we tied everyone together. We got, of course, Amber, her mom, dad, everyone that was able to go that we had in our little clique. And of course, Jason from season 9 of Face Off, Jason Henricks, he's one of my good friends, was actually best man at my wedding. He came out, and I popped the question to her during a fake makeup quick change. Hey, we need a gunshot. Oh, Amber, could you bring over my makeup kit? And she hesitatingly brought it over, and when she handed it to me, I went in, got the ring, and presented her with the ring, and asked her, "Will you marry me?" And
what'd she say?
She said, "No way." Of course, she said yes.
She said yes right away, or she was like hesitation, or what happened?
No,
you're gonna bleep her. You're gonna bleep her.
Bad word.
Yeah. You are, and then, yeah.
And
it was not the. My brain didn't process it. I'm like, so is that a yes? And she said, of course, yeah. So in the end, it worked out. But yeah, I think I took her totally by surprise.
To tell you that our autistic son was having a fit because there was bugs flying around his head. Our 18-month-old child at the time had a dirty diaper and was pitching a fit. It was hot like nobody's business.
Really
I was like, get ready to leave. And he's like, no, send her over here. And I'm like, I'm going to the car. And Jason's like, no, I got her. Here, take this. I'm like, you take it. Don't take it over there. So I trotted over there, throw the bag down. I'm like, here.
And that was right over. He was Dead Ted at the time.
The Walking Ted, right.
He's now the Walking. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
After he just got capped, and it was awesome. If you're a Walking Dead fan, this is like, I mean, yeah,
this is gospel.
A lot of thought went into it, and I think that's what made it even that much better.
So you did the proposal, and tell us about the wedding. What did you do special at the wedding? Did you guys go in costume? What happened?
No, it was a very traditional wedding. Very, pretty dress, pretty light draperies and stuff. It just happened to be at the haunted attraction we work at.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Not a big deal. It was at a haunt, so what?
Warehouse, we turned the big, huge loading dock, it was like 90 by 20, so it's this monstrous space. And we completely decked it out and put up all these draperies and literally transformed the building into a wedding venue.
That's cool.
Yeah, our good friend Joe Phillips, the owner over there, he was a little nervous when he came in and saw it looking so pretty. He's like, you better be able to make this ugly again.
Right.
And the next day, he was like, wow, you pulled it off.
Right.
Of course, I feel like I'm still washing off haunt dirt.
Yeah.
It's a warehouse. It's filthy. It's the dirt ridiculous, and it's like lakes all around it, so it's super duper windy. It's constantly blowing dirt and dust in. It's just filth city, which is perfect for a haunted house, but not necessarily.
A little bit cleaner for a wedding.
Yeah.
So you guys have 5 kids, huh? 5 kids. You ever freak out the kids with some of your creations?
They help all the time, whatever they can get their hands into.
But have you ever scared them? Just walk in and wake them up in the morning and go, Roar! You guys do that? They're pretty much used to you now, huh?
They just don't scare. They've see how this stuff is made. Yeah. So I tried to scare him the other day because we have a prairie dog. Was one of our pets.
What?
And a prairie dog.
Like a hamster, guinea pig.
Yeah.
What the heck is a prairie dog, Karen? You were in.
They have a lot of them out in Arizona. They're cute
like Arizona,
things.
Wyoming,
they pop out of a little hole. Yeah.
Like American meerkat.
Yeah.
That sounds normal.
He doesn't get out much.
Yeah.
I live in Vieira. I'm sorry.
Meerkat and groundhog had a baby.
Yeah. Yeah, very cute. But we had a taxidermied one at the haunt. And my idea was to scare the children by replacing the live one with the taxidermied one that has big old fangs. It backfired on me.
What happened?
It backfired. They were like, Dad. It's like, okay, well, but nothing phases them. They've known how this stuff works for so long that even the youngest
one.
This
was in the cage in the bedroom and nobody cried.
Wow, that is frightening. You see that?
Over this thing.
And for all of our listeners, this is going to be up on our Facebook page later.
Oh my goodness!
You guys will be able to see this later.
Yeah. Look at those teeth, man.
It doesn't.
So you have a real one?
Yeah, that's a taxidermy.
Do you have
one.
teeth like that?
Dead.
Yeah.
But
are you
prairie
sure?
dog, is the name of ours because I love Prairie Dawn, and she's so sweet and docile, and so we call him Prairie Dan.
Yeah.
Prairie Dan's not like, is he on the coffee table or is he on the nightstand in the bedroom?
The mantle for now.
Okay.
He's on loan. He's on loan from the Shallow Grave in Winter Haven. We have to bring him back, but he's making his tour at the Fensterer residence.
That's wonderful. So let's talk about Face Off. So this Michael Westmore, bro. I mean, I know he's accomplished and all, but he's one tough cookie, man. He's like the Simon Cowell of makeup. So what was your experience like on Face Off, Scott? Did he like freak you out? Was he getting you like looking over your shoulder and like, dude, back off?
Not really. You know, he was the makeup guy on the old Star Trek Next Generation, and you know, I used to read his articles in the fan magazines on that. So to actually have him as your mentor, it was amazing. And you know, say what you will about the show, it is just a show. It is a game show, and they're going to do what they need to do as a game show to get the the viewers.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, I loved the experience, every moment of it. You know, it was like a life-changing time for me. I went there thinking that I'd be on there maybe for 5 episodes. I just wanted to see if I could do it, you know, because I had been told for so long that this was something that you couldn't do.
Right.
So, me to make it on all 14 episodes and have the positive feedback. I was never in the bottom on that season. I won one challenge. I won one of the foundation challenges, and I was never in the bottom. I was always either safe or I won it. So I have no bad memories. And Michael Westmore was fantastic. He even shared some personal stories with me that, you know, they were touching. The guy is a really sweet man.
You still hang out with him? You guys Facebook friends? You tweet together?
Facebook? Yeah. I actually talk to Mackenzie more than I talk to Michael, because he's a busy man. He's still very, very active, and of course with Face Off. But it's funny because you know, Mackenzie, she stays in contact with all of the contestants, the ex-cons as they call them.
Ex-cons.
You know, she or Neville Page is really good about it. Glenn Hetrick, you know, they'll say something cool about a post you make or something like that, and you know, it is a family. It's almost like, you know, you all have Stockholm Syndrome from being on the show together, and it makes some pretty tight bonds.
That's awesome.
I have to ask you, when we had talked, you know, sometimes your family gets involved. You've got a big support system with all the projects that you take on. And we had kind of talked about, you know, reality shows. How about you guys? Is there any reality shows for you guys in the future for yourself?
That would be hot.
I mean, I think that would be really, really cool.
And I don't know if I would necessarily be interested in reality TV, but they've also like talked about making TV movies.
Yeah.
Movies good.
Yeah.
Fensterers, Am Scott, and a popcorn.
That's a great time to write that down.
You know what? You could get Am Scott. Am Scott could sponsor.
Right.
Am Scott, you are officially picking up the bill for this movie.
You hear that, Am Scott? It'll be on Kickstarter next week.
Yes.
Everything we do.
Right. Let's go for it.
No, but I'm in all honesty though. I mean, I think it would be a fantastic show. It'd be very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, you know, balancing the life that we have and making it work with 4 kids in our house. I have one child that's with their previous owner. But, you know, having the 4 kids and the random schedules, and our son has autism and a few other health issues that keep running back and forth to Shan. It keeps us hopping. I mean, every day is an adventure. And, you know, if you have to go to the doctor's office with one of the kids and you take 4 or 5 hours to do it.
Yeah, sure.
Staying up again until 4 o'clock in the morning, you might as well just stay up for the whole day.
What it means your producer's running in yelling, "Hey, please overreact here. We need some drama."
There is drama in life.
We don't need any extra help.
Right. You guys have Edible Delights. What inspired that, and can you tell us about some of the treats that you've created? Because that's pretty cool too.
Sure. We had just gotten done teaching a class with a friend of ours, Nelson Burke, up in Georgia. He runs a materials dealership up there, the engineer guy. So if you need any materials, he's the one to go to. Really cool guy. So we taught a class up there, and we were on our way back thinking about different things that we could do, like props or, you know, body parts, ears, things like that would sell during the Halloween season. And this one, with their confectionery background, says, why don't we make them edible? And that's how that whole thing started. So, she started talking about how she can make these things, these grotesque fingers and toes and ears.
Intestines?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Coming
Sphincters?
Then there's some specialty holiday items that they were kind of in the back burner this year because there was wedding stuff and stuff.
Yeah, that little stuff.
They're there. They're in a pile.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So
And they have been a lot more successful than we thought. You look at these things and they look like zombie fingers and zombie toes, zombie ears, and they're just gelatin. I mean, they taste
Gummy
like
bears.
pina colada.
Ugly.
Pina colada, we need some of that.
People love them. They wear them around their neck at shows. They go up and meet Norman Reedus, and they're wearing our gummies and eating our gummies. It's so ridiculous, and I never would have thought that they would have taken off, but they got very, very widespread attention.
We need to put that up on our website too.
We do.
Yeah.
So that's still going strong. Do you have a store for that, or is that just online now? Or
Online.
Hit Edible Delights and some message from there. We don't have the shop now button because I'm not that technologically advanced.
Yeah.
Right on. So,
me either.
So somebody could ask you, say, hey, I need some fingers for this gig, and you can make it for them? That's pretty hot, man.
Isn't that cool?
We have had that, yes. And in fact, we use a similar technology using gummy parts for a cake we did for Zombie Fest, Lakeland Zombie Fest.
Wow.
And that was a life-size zombie torso from like the mid-waist up. Everything was edible, even the hair. It was done with what was it called? Wafer paper. So it was like strips of wafer paper that looked like actual hair. Actually, we have a picture for the people on Skype.
Oh my! So you did that hair with paper? Beautiful. That's insane. Can you see that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Completely edible paper.
Wow.
The clothes were all fondant, and the face and the hands were gelatin. Wow. So they could actually be eaten. And then the best part was that inside the head, there was an edible gelatin brain with raspberry jelly. So yeah,
him out right now.
But the places that these things go, like Lakeland Zombie Fest, the people are so rabid about this stuff. They get into the experience. Yeah, they get into the experience, and they want to. We had how many people? Like 600 people that were around us on the stage that were all coming up and kind of eating the zombie for a change.
Brilliant.
Yeah, that's hot.
Yeah, but all sorts of fun. There's our friend Leah Williams from Got Candy and More. She helped us do the baking and everything.
Nice.
So see the face of Ted and the brain of Ted.
I like it.
Ready to be eaten.
I'm getting hungry. I don't know about you.
Yeah. Oh, here's some more pictures. We're all seeing pictures, and these we'll have these up. You'll be able to watch it later.
Unbelievable. That's some amazing, so lifelike.
Yeah. I mean, it's uncanny because we actually started with the life cast of the real Walking Ted, and then did the makeup sculpt on that, and then made another mold in a food-safe silicone, and then cast the gelatin right in that. So it is
it's a process.
Hollywood quality. It looks like a real face.
All right, you're mentioning this Karen's favorite zombie, Dead Ted, who's become now the real Walking Ted. So how did he come about? Tell us about him for those of us who aren't familiar with the real Walking Ted.
Well, the real Walking Ted is actually my father-in-law now.
My dad.
He. I met him when I met Amber, and I just fell in love with this family. He's my best friend. We hang out all the time.
Daddy.
Yeah, Dad's over there.
Hey, you are the best at what you do. We love you. I love you.
I like your shirt, the grandfather. That's cool.
Special guest. I met him when I met my now wife, and February came around, and we had Sci-Fi Bartow, and one of my models canceled, and he said, you know what? I did Rocky Horror when I was younger. I'll give it a shot. And he was so good. I mean, from the beginning, he would walk around, scare the bejesus out of people, and that was the beginning of our modeling relationship. And I've done, probably by now over 50 makeups.
He's
counting the haunt and everything, and a bunch of
in the last year.
Demos.
Wow.
And I mean, it's been amazing. It's been amazing, and his dedication is a lot better than some of the models I've ever worked with, because we have a Friday shoot and then a Saturday shoot or a show or something, and he'll sleep in the makeup, which is uncanny. Like, waking up next to him in makeup, it's like, okay, you check the pulse. I'm not. So yeah, it's fun though.
Double hotel rooms are fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I especially love it when he's walking around with a cigarette. And his hanging out full on makeup.
Just hanging out.
Or being walked by the baby like a dog.
Oh yeah.
Right.
There's a picture of.
Yeah, thank you. I was just trying to go through.
Nice.
That's our 2-year-old.
Dude, how tall is he?
He's 6'5".
6'3".
Wow.
He's 6'5". He is a giraffe. He's tall.
Hey, we're running down to 6 minutes, and there's something really important that I know that we want to talk. It's all important, but we want to talk about and touch on actually 5 minutes or so here. Let's talk about the film industry and what's going on here in Florida, and why we are where we're at with the film industry and where people are going.
Why does the film industry hate us, or why does Florida hate the film industry, Scott?
Yeah, thank you, Chuck.
I could go on and on and on about this. This has been a kind of a passion project of mine for years. 1989, Lawton Chiles, the governor of Florida, started tax breaks for production companies to come into Florida. And around that time, we had Parenthood, we had other movies that were coming in all around Central Florida. And then some bonehead in government decided that, and I'm sorry, but I got to be frank.
No, let's be straight up. Yeah, it's true.
They didn't need the tax breaks, that they were being taken advantage of because they were bringing in out-of-state crews and everything, which is neither here nor there. Yeah. You look at Georgia right now. Georgia's Film Commission is working so well, and they are bringing in an amazing amount of revenue through Disney, through The Walking Dead. You look at how many features there are on film credits nowadays.
Yeah.
And Florida, we're still tabling this every time it comes up for vote. The thing is that we are bigger than Disney as a state. We can't depend on them only for what they bring to the table.
Right.
If we have the film business, the actors, the crews, everyone that runs from there, special effects artists, we would have work.
Yeah.
We would have a lot of work right in our backyard.
Are you listening, Governor Rick Scott?
Yeah. Hello, Ricky.
Yes, please, Governor Rick Scott, any of your local government officials. I would start a letter writing campaign. You know, anyone that wants to work in the film industry, whether it's an audiovisual, we have Full Sail University in Central Florida.
We have somebody coming on the show.
Where are they going? Yeah, they're you know, having their education in Orlando, and then everyone's having to move to Georgia.
You've lost. You had a lot of friends move.
Yeah, Georgia, Louisiana, Canada. When we had full season.
Wow. Hey, that's insane. Oh. We need to bring people back here.
Yeah.
I understand that Brevard County itself is actually spending $100,000 on a Snapchat campaign.
That's what we.
That's what's important around here, right?
Snapchat.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
We really need to bring movies back because they don't understand. If you bring movies back here, it creates tourism. People say, "Well, where was that movie? Where was my favorite movie shot? Let's go check that out."
I agree.
Right. Like Sonoya, Georgia, they've got The Walking Dead.
Right.
Why don't we have something like that?
And we have the hotel industry here already.
We've got the hotel industry. We talked about, you know, you have Disney. You've got, what is it, the Hollywood Studios. We've got Universal. I mean, come on.
It's just a natural tie-in. It just makes total sense.
Yeah.
Lots of swamps, too.
Yep. We have this beautiful state with seasonal, you know, filming year-round, and we're not taking advantage of it. And it would affect everyone from housing and hotels.
Yep.
It would be, you know, the rental companies that have to set up caterers for the craft services. You name it. I mean, the thing is that it has such a trickle down. If they're bringing in crews from out of state, they're still using our facilities.
Right.
They're still traveling our roads.
Right.
They're still spending money in our state. So it's a win-win. I don't see how it can be a negative.
And they're increasing job opportunities, too.
And you get some of the kids off the street.
Get a lot of kids, like my kids, off the street.
All right, we're winding down here as far as time. We want to know, I know you guys have a whole bunch of NDAs, blah, blah, blah. But what are you guys working on now? Can you give us a little taste of what's going on in that crazy ingenious mind?
Can you make any, like, little props of this one here?
Yeah, I'm scary.
Oh, wait. I can so totally see you guys as bobbleheads. You would be awesome. Yeah.
We're kind of like that, aren't we?
So what are you doing? What's going on? What can you tell us about?
A lot of what we do, we have
creatures.
Yes, creatures, large-scale creatures. We've been getting a lot of business with, you know, theme parks, obviously, in the state of Florida. We've done a couple of movies. I can't talk about what they are yet, but as soon as I can, please check out my my Facebook and everything.
What's your Facebook page? Tell us what that is. How do you get there? Where is it?
If you look up Scott C. Fensterer on Facebook or Scott Fensterer Sculpture Studio, we have that on Facebook as well. Those are my two public profiles. Edible Delights, D apostrophe Edible Delights, and then of course The Real Walking Ted. All of those are kind of managed by us collectively, so you can get in touch with us any old way you desire.
We'll share those too today.
Absolutely, put them on our website.
And the Keith Roberts page. Yeah,
we cross post everything.
Yeah. Everything is cross posted. Yeah.
Will you guys come back on our show and talk with us some more, because an hour is just never enough.
We could do a whole day with you kids.
That was the quickest hour, and I love you guys. You're awesome, and thank you for giving us a platform to talk about the film industry in Florida. And if there's anyone that's listening that can help out with that, you know, we're all the more happy to do that. Yes.
Reach out to us.
Congratulations once again, Scott and Amber Fensterer, brand new marriage.
Thank you guys.
So happy for you guys. Thank you so much again for spending some time. Now go get some sleep. Gosh.
No, we gotta go get kids from school.
Yeah.
They can walk. No.
For Karen Wooden, I'm Chuck Fresh. This is Radio Takeover. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see y'all next week. Who's next week?
Sal Valentinetti.
Sal Valentinetti next
how
week.
you doing?
Wow, we got so many famous people: Scott Fensterer, Amber Santos Fensterer, no hyphenation, right? She's a good old-fashioned girl. Look at her. Thanks again for Karen Wooden. This is Chuck Fresh. This is Radio Takeover. We'll see y'all next week.
Thank you, guys.
This has been Radio Takeover, Brevard's hit talk radio show with Karen Wooden and Chuck Fresh. Heard every Wednesday at 1 p.m. right here on 1510 WMEL. And streaming all over the world 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on iTunes, iHeartRadio, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Join us next Wednesday at 1 for Radio Takeover. For sponsorship rates and availability, please log on to brevardradio.com.